Walker moves from the centres to the second row to accommodate Tupi's arrival. Jamie Peacock is alongside him, and Gareth Ellis is the loose forward. And on the bench, it's Ali Lauatiti, Shane Millard, Ian Kirk, and former Hull star Jamie Thackeray, who makes his Leeds Rhinos debut off the bench for coach Tony Smith. Well, a defeat here tonight would equal Tony Smith's worst sequence since arriving at Leeds. He lost 4 straight last August and September, but the Rhinos still bounced back to claim an Old Trafford Grand Final spot for a second year in a row. They haven't finished outside the top 2 since 2002, when they were 4th that year under the coach Darryl Powell. To come after this, Wigan at home, Wakefield away, Warrington at home, Saints away, Catalan Dragons at home. Hull have never finished as high as second before. Third twice under Sean McRae in 2001 and 2004. 12 months ago, famously, they pipped Leeds 25-24 to lift the Challenge Cup. To come after this, Huddersfield away, Salford at home, Catalan Dragons at home, Warrington and Wigan away will wrap their season of weekly round matches up. And then who knows, will the Black and White Army be moving in to Old Trafford? Phil Bentham is the man with the big job in the middle tonight. It is a perfect night for fast, free-flowing rugby league. Look at that pitch, it's in magnificent nick, apart from just a little area to the right-hand side that Kevin Sinfield now kicks off towards. A couple of bare patches, but a beautiful night for rugby league and a great crowd in here. And can Leeds Rhinos bounce back after losing the last 3 in a row?
They certainly can, but they've really got to put points on the board in the first quarter. They know, and I'm sure that their opposition Hull are fully aware of it, is that they've had the fortnight's rest. Leeds had a very tough game last weekend, so they have to make sure that they've got fire in their bellies, a game that they really want, but they've got to make sure they get that scoreboard ticking.
Neat interchange from Hull, but deep in their own half of the field. This is the 4th tackle. Here is Paul Cook, kidney stones, 2 operations over the past 7 days. Painful indeed, and bravely battling on here through the pain tonight. Deep kick downfield, good kick too. It's picked up by Lee Smith. Sid Domick is there to greet Lee Smith, and there's the first tackle of the match made on a Leeds Rhinos player. Phil Clark.
You know, Leeds were awful last week in the cup defeat. All credit still to Huddersfield. But in their last Super League game, Eddie, let's not write them off yet as a team that have blown it this season. They lost narrowly to St Helens, the top of the team. The try was disallowed in the last few minutes with a forward pass from Lauatiti. They weren't far off the money. It was just last week that let them down. They need to reassert themselves. They went through a similar slump at this time last year, but they can recover, not with players like that.
Scott Connell with the knock-on. The ball fed to him by Clinton Tupi.
Well, that's the type of pass that he likes to do, the offload. I mentioned before the kickoff that Scott Donald has not had many opportunities to get away. He has the speed, that is little doubt. He has the quality, Clinton Tupi, but just a little bit behind. It'll take them a while to settle in, to understand each other's way they play.
Richard Horne fights Sid Domick. He has got Gibson in front of him. That's a nice little pass. And Hull still have the possession with Nathan Blacklock as he plays the ball. Here now is Lee Radford. Good defence though from Leeds, but he still manages to smuggle the ball away to Richard Swain. They are 8 metres, 9 metres indeed, inside the Leeds half of the field, with Richard Horne here. Back it goes on the inside. A good driving run from Ewan Dowes, and it takes 3 Leeds Rhinos men to bring him down. That's 3 tackles of this set of 6 gone. And it's now with Paul Cook, their playmaker. Back it goes. And that's Danny Washbrook. Washbrook keeping the ball alive. Peter Sharp said he wants Hull to play some footy tonight. And they have made their intentions clear in this set of 6. Here is Paul Cook. Dabs the ball in behind. It's almost picked up. It isn't picked up. Leeds managed to get the ball back in the shape of Clinton Tupi. John Keir is up here. I don't think you've ever been as high as this at the KC Stadium before, John. Not a bad view, is it?
No, it's a great view, and it's a new experience for me. But what a great start there from the Black and Whites. Almost a good finish to the set there from Paul Cook, but they really are exerting the early pressure.
Leeds in possession, but deep inside their own half of the field as Diskin has a little scamper from dummy half. Diskin, he struggled to regain his sensational form of 2004 when he made it to the Great Britain side, only to be sadly badly injured on his international debut. This is Kevin Sinfield with a kick down the line. He's looking for a 40-20 as well, but Motu Tony is there to pick it up. Motu Tony on his 50th appearance for the Black and Whites. Now it goes to Gareth Rayner, who has a remarkable record against Leeds. Peter Sharp knows he has got 9 tries against Leeds since he left Headingley in 2001, Gareth Rayner.
Pretty
a remarkable record.
Pretty solid play by the Leeds outfit there, and Kevin Sinfield coming to the fore. He has to control, and they looked a little bit lost last weekend. He's got to dictate play.
Hull looking to offload the ball at every opportunity. This is Richard Whiting, who was grounded by Keith Senior. That's Richard Swain again, and here goes Lee Radford driving the ball up the middle.
Great work from the forwards. Quick play the ball, they're catching out Leeds, though they did hold them down on that occasion.
Richard Horn to Paul Cook. There's the ball to Chris Chester. A little half break from Chester. Lee Smith is there. Gets the ball away though to Motu Tony. Back it goes on the inside to Gareth Carvell. Wonderful break from Paul Cook. 10 metres away from the line are the Black and Whites with Motu Tony again. Here is Richard Horn. Horn puts the kick in. Well gobbled up there by Keith Senior. And he manages to get the ball away to Lee Smith. And Lee Smith will counter.
Watch the pass here. It looked forward. About half a metre as far as I'm concerned, but that's the quality and the skill of the standoff Paul Cook. He delays the pass. He knows that a man's going to come really flat. Talking of flat, there's a whole player down in back play.
What a marvellous pass though, wasn't it, from Paul Cook? And it was Clinton Tupin at the caught out, and he's had an unhappy start. 1 error and 1 missed tackle already for the New Zealand international. Tackle
there is not completed. Leeds are able to continue it on here with Burrow. This now is Walker. Bounces off the back of Tupy. Picked up by Scott Donald. He is tackled on the last. Bill, trouble for Chris Chester.
Oh, an unhappy start for Hull FC. Chris Chester, his first real involvement in the play was that break. And at the end of it, he pulled up. It looks like his left ankle might be the problem. Hobbling towards the sidelines. Ewan Dowes has also picked up a bang. So a few bumps and bruises already out there.
Yes, it could well be one of those nights as the high kick is collected by Domick, and who escapes the net, and Domick is pursued by Tupé and Lee Smith, and Smith and Senior and Sinfield bring him down.
Big
Chris
problem
Chester
for
with
Chester,
a problem.
but I must say, Leeds, absolute panic.
Here is Gareth Rayner. Rayner still dancing through the line. Tackles being missed all over the show. It comes to Paul Cook. He fires it wide, and it goes further wide from Radford. This is Richard Whiting. Leeds muscling up in defence. Hull though keeping the ball alive. Washbrook. Infield it goes to Motu Tony. And Tony almost through the gap. Hauled down by Peacock and Bailey. Swain to Richard Horn. Delays the pass. Here's Paul Cook again. On it goes once more. Great hands. Carvell. Just short on tackle number 3. Richard Swain fires the pass to Cook. Wide it goes to Rayner. Try for Gareth Rayner. 10 tries now for Gareth Rayner against the club that let him go 5 years ago. Rayner, 13th of the season for him, and all the good work that Hull have put in early here has borne fruit. They lead by 4 points to 0.
Sheer panic in the Leeds camp. Didn't get a good kick away, and when it landed in Domick's hands, off he went. Very poor defence. They were always going to be on the back foot, the Rhinos. They were put to the sword. They had the men out wide. Look how they've sucked them in. I mentioned the fact that Scott Donald comes away from the whitewash time and time again, and he has found the target. What a pass from Paul Cook. Donald nowhere to be seen.
The Hull have been starting games very poorly of late. They've been conceding tries in the opening few minutes. This time they changed things. Poor kicks have put them under pressure of the Leeds side, and Hull have made them pay. A very hot start and a very hot team.
Gareth Rayner trying each of his last 4 appearances now, and Paul Cook here. He missed the Harlequins game. He had those operations for kidney stones in the last couple of weeks. Finally, he has forced his way into the Great Britain squad, and Paul Cook here now. with the opportunity, but it's a difficult opportunity to kick the conversion and give Hull a 6-point lead. Ball's on its way, he's trying to drift it towards the post, but it's wide. Paul Cook misses, but Gareth Rayner didn't. It's Hull 4, Leeds 0.
Well, a winger should stay opposite his winger, but look at that, he's even inside the centre, Dominic. It was a real gift. Thank you very much indeed, it's TRY, but that was breathtaking. The build-up from the black and whites was spectacular.
What's amazing, just how quickly Leeds' defence seems to have deteriorated. The last Super League game, they were very impressive. They held a St Helens side and defended very well. But in the Challenge Cup semi-final and in the opening 8 minutes today, they've been exposed out wide, particularly on this right-hand side for Leeds. Tupi, Burrow and Donald.
Gareth Rayner has just scored his 6th try against Leeds this season alone.
Interestingly, Eddie, as well, we've got out there Paul King and Shane McMenemy, so 2 forced, I would suggest, interchanges within the first 10 minutes for the black and whites.
This is Richard Whiting.
Well, the Leeds defence is completely off the boil. They're unbalanced. Some are moving up, others are hanging back. Complete confusion. I mentioned the fact they've got to sort things out. They've got 2 good kickers out there in Sinfield and Rob Barrow, and not one of them got anywhere in position to kick on the final tackle.
Good kick down the line, that by McMenemy. He's looking for Rayner again, and Rayner gets the try! Magnificent try from Gareth Rayner, if it is given by tonight's video referee, Dave Campbell. He just wants to check the touchline. Well, from high up here, there looked no problem at all when Rayner got ball in hand, and he was way onside.
No doubt about that. Half a metre, and that is sufficient. They are, as I mentioned before the kick-off, who will they target? No problem. TRY, number 2 for Mr. Rayner, and they will confirm it thus.
Second try for Gareth Rayner. He has haunted Leeds over the year, and he is tormenting them already tonight. Gareth Rayner with the try.
There was little doubt they would torment this winger on the right, Scott Donald. It was a perfect kick, wasn't it? He just brushed him off. Notice, when the kick comes, how he can utilise the shoulder, and he bumped off Donald easy. They are on a roll. This is going to be a black and white piece of rock, and it's going to be hard to stop.
Well, Paul Cook kicked one from here a moment ago. Has he learned the lesson? Well, he's dragged it the other side of the post this time. Annoyed with himself, but Hull have an 8-point lead.
I think Leeds will be very disappointed with Clinton Tupi there. Some of the Leeds defenders got up quickly to put pressure on the first kick option, which was Cook. The ball went to McMenemy, and Tupi just sat back. It allowed McMenemy to put the kick in, which was a fantastic effort. You can see how quickly they're punching with 5 aggressive and muscular runs up over the halfway line, and then an accurate and dangerous kick just leads to the second try for Gareth Rayner.
Blacklock is underneath the kick-off, and here is Paul King. And as John Keir rightly said, to enforce changes, McMenemy and King. But McMenemy was at the heart of that try for Gareth Rayner with a glorious kick diagonally down the line. We've had 11.5 minutes. There is one young man out there already who looks like he's after a Man of the Match award, Dave Hadfield.
Yes, and you'd wonder how good Paul Cook could feel tonight, just 5 days after an operation for kidney stones, but there's nothing wrong with the way he started this game. No, Gareth Rayner is doing his usual against Leeds. Richard Whiting's an interesting one as well, didn't seem to figure very prominently in Peter Sharp's plans. He's getting a chance tonight to show that he can play a part for the rest of the season. In theory, it's a great night for Leeds to have 2 new players coming in, but Clinton Thorpe has made an inauspicious start. I think we can expect some fire coming off the bench for Jamie Thackeray when he comes into the game.
So it was a kick downfield from Richard Horne. It just failed, as you can see, to get the 40-20. So it's Leeds head and feed. And, well, they've conceded 2 tries in the opening 12 minutes. And they were poor by their own standards against Huddersfield in the Cup. But they've got these two new replacements to come in, and we're still await, of course, to see Jamie Thackeray up against his former teammates. But Tony Smith with a slight problem here as we enter the back end of the season, I think.
Well, he'll be looking at the facts, and the facts are that, yes, Hull have scored twice. There is Thackeray, waiting his chance to get out amongst his former teammates. But he'll be looking at the fact he's only 8 points down. They've missed both conversions, and Leeds haven't had one real attacking attempt.
Well, here they maybe have one now with Tupi again, and Tupi manages to go to ground. Domic and company were trying to force him over the line. Burrow to Sinfield, crossfield kick. It's a cracker too. Blacklock has got to jump high. Senior has got higher, and Senior scores for Leeds. What a great response from the Rhinos. A high kick, and Blacklock was in trouble because there were two men against him, and one of them was Senior, and Senior got up the higher, and Senior gets the 4 points, and Leeds aren't done yet.
Well, this is a tremendous game. We mentioned before the kick-off in regards to Eddie the fact that the opposition coaches look for the weak link, and they've both found them. On this occasion, it is Nathan Blacklock. A great jump, a great take from Senior, and he has the upper body strength to take it. If they get the conversion here, they find themselves only 2 points adrift when they've absolutely been blitzed by the Hull outfit. Well taken, great kick from Sinfield. Game on.
Keith Senior with the try on his 400th career appearance. He's been linked with a move away from Headingley next year, but he has got a testimonial coming up at Headingley, so it is more than likely that he will stay. Kevin Sinfield. 2 goals last week in the Cup semi-final. Can he do what Paul Cook couldn't do? Yes, he can! And Leeds Rhinos are back to within 2 points. It's Hull 8, it's Leeds 6.
What a kick from the captain when it was really, really needed, and taken with great aplomb from the big centre Keith Senior. That'll lift their spirits. It was doom and gloom up until then.
You need your experienced players, don't you, to stand up when you're under pressure. Leeds are under pressure, and there's no better than the one and only Keith Senior to do that. You know, we've had 2 of 3 tries tonight from the 5th tackle kick plays. Just goes to show how important it is. If you can put pressure on your opponent when he's trying to kick the ball, it makes it all the more difficult, and it would have made Nathan Blacklock's job far easier, other than having the big hulking Keith Senior sprinting down at him.
I'm wondering, Eddie, whether Steve-O wants a job on the coaching staff after his pre-match analysis. Scott Donald one side, Nathan Blacklock on the other, and they've both come up trumps in the first 15 minutes.
Well, he's got to get one right in 15 years, John. He's managed it tonight. This is Matu Tony. Good chase from Leeds on the kick as well, led by Chev Walker, operating in the second row tonight. Played 2 tests here for Great Britain, against New Zealand in 2004 and Australia last year.
Well, they're showing a little bit more metal now, and you can see that. A lot more vigorous in the defence. The one man that will not let them down, and he really has been a beacon all on his own, is the loose forward Gareth Ellis. He's in tremendous form, and if he can just shift them up that extra gear, Leeds will just have a sense that they are well and truly getting back into this match.
Paul King on the last tackle, and Richard Swain with the kick downfield. And Richard Swain, I think, was aiming for a 40-20 there, but picked up over on that far side by the youngster, Ashley Gibson.
Eddie, on this ground, it's a really big playing surface for KC, and to get a 40-20, it's got to be a heck of a piece of skill.
We have some more injury news about Hull. Bill?
Well, while the rest of Hull was celebrating that great start to the game, there was a very dejected figure on the Hull bench. Chris Chester, he really has had the roughest of luck with injuries. Only 6 starts this season for the Black and Whites. He's on the sidelines again, and judging by the heavy strapping on that left ankle, he won't be returning again tonight. The look on his face says it all. Ewan Dowes will be back. He's been to the dressing room, repair work on a facial wound he's had.
Gareth Ellis, meanwhile, takes tackle number 5. Disc in, infield, it goes to Sinfield, and another high kick. That's another tester for Blacklock, and Blacklock this time gets to it, did he? I think he did. He knocked it backwards, and back come Hull, but that was a robust challenge from Bailey.
Yeah, all over the place. Under a lot of pressure from Ashley Gibson. He did well. Launched himself for the football, created all sorts of problems.
I think Mr. Blacklock knows he might be in for some aerial bombardment tonight.
You know,
What
you've
about
seen
the
in the
hit
last
then
few
from Ellis?
minutes, yeah, Eddie, in the last few minutes, the aggression now, they're starting to come back into this Leeds side. They have to play with that level of aggression. Can't just rely on the skill and flair they have. Although they're the game's leading top try scorers, they've got to play a bit as well. They're starting to do so.
Swain with the kick downfield, and Peter Sharp, it started so brightly for him, but there's a furrowed brow there.
Well, the big problem, and I said it before the game started, he didn't have the best of games against Huddersfield in the semi-final. Scott Donald overrunning the pass from Clinton Tupy in the opening minute. And then you can see here, Nathan Blacklock. It's always a negative sometimes. You just don't know which will turn up. Will he be the speedster with a lot of confidence? Oh, and Senior has dropped the ball.
Yes, Senior went without it, and he acknowledges the mistake.
But it's on the first, Eddie. That is a sin. That is a heartbreaker for the coach. And that just shows you the importance. Okay, Hull on 2 occasions went for the 40-20, didn't succeed. So on the next kick, they made sure it found touch. And the way that their defence is solid, they forced the error. Just as good as a 40-20.
Here comes Richard Horne, a short ball to Domick. Lee Smith was there to him, and Ewan Dowes with a big black eye coming, and some stitches underneath the eye, is about to return to the fray. Kane McMenemy meanwhile takes the tackle. That is Richard Swain again. Here is Paul King, and King almost through. Swain once more. Now it's with Richard Horne. This is Sid Domick. That's a try for Domick. Third Hull try, and the mistake from Keith Senior on the first tackle is punished to the extreme. Sid Domick.
Simple, basic rugby league football. The dummy runner just coming on the angle sufficient to confuse the defence. It all came about from the beautiful defence on the centre, Keith Senior, and from here he goes through it. Very fragile defence from Leeds.
A great field position and capitalised upon. Richard Horne running at the line and putting a player in hole. Keith Senior would have hoped that his centre partner Clinton Tupy could have done better, but Sid Domick's happy nevertheless.
Sid Domick, who was signed by John Keir from the Wakefield Trinity Wildcats. John.
Yeah, we're going to try and get him back now, Eddie. Yeah, I mean, one of Sid's sort of plus points very much is the fact that he times the run so well and he hits a hole so well. And I think that was really well demonstrated there. And it does take some stopping within 10-15 metres of the opposition line.
Well, Paul Cook has had 2 attempts from the touchline. This is about 5-6 metres further in towards the post. But he has missed with another. That's gone the other side again. Well, Paul Cook can't find the mark with the boot, and that is 6 points that Paul Cook has, I'm not going to say cost them, but Peter Sharp could have done with them.
But you can see here, look at Sinfield pointing for them to take him, when really he should be moving out. It's that split second. No one there. Soon as Tupy missed the defence, he's having a nightmare as Clinton Tupy. Both in attack and defence, I'm afraid.
Ooh. Paul Cook took that, and it was waist high, and he was about half a metre inside the dead ball line. Didn't take the gamble of thinking it might go dead in goal, but he's got the penalty. Interferences. Paul King tried to get back to his feet, penalised by Mr. Bentham.
It was just silly play, wasn't it? Good kick, good defence. They just lose their marbles. Look at that line of defence that we just witnessed there from Leeds. Like a dog's back leg. Some are moving, some are hanging in, some aren't bothering.
Keeping the ball alive all the time. Bradford 16 up against Warrington, Salford 6 up against Harlequins, Saints 12 up against Huddersfield, and Wigan 12 up against the Catalan Dragons. And this is how it stands in the top 6 right now. And this is how it looks at the bottom right now. Well, the important scoreline coming in is the Wigan one, because Catalan, of course, are exempt from relegation. John Keir has just taken a deep breath as Hull come forward again with Washbrook. He can't get the ball down underneath Peacock. Fantastic defence.
What about the attacking play from this little forward, Danny Washbrook? It fully deserved a try. Good work from Donald, but the man, Peacock, got underneath the football.
This is the last tackle. The tackle count continues when a player is held up over the line. And Whiting dabs the ball over the top. He's after it. Whiting hacks it forward. He has got the try, you know. That bounced off the post and back to him.
It's a fluke, but it's a TRY.
He just wants to check that there was no knock on after the ball came back off the post. But Richard Whiting is convinced that the try will be given, and so are Hull. Dave Campbell, it's another conundrum for you to sort out. Nothing wrong with that.
Whiting got to it. Whiting gets the rebound, and Whiting gets the TRY. Listen to the crowd here. But what about the run from Danny Washbrook, the loose forward? It deserved it. Confirmation time. There go Crackers here.
Richard Whiting was the Young Player of the Year in 2003. He's missed the last two. He's filling in for the injured Kirk Yeaman. It will be a dilemma for Peter Sharp when Kirk Yeaman comes back to full fitness in 2 or 3 weeks' time. What does he do with Whiting?
Never mind Whiting. You can't catch Whiting, but you might be able to catch this Washbrook. They got to him. It was tremendous defence from Peacock and Donald, but they were always going to be in a lot of trouble. 6s and 7s, there are 2 men going for the same man. What are you going to do? See them hanging around. Some are up, some are down, some are back, and some are scoring a TRY. They're just not at home. Great effort.
And Paul Cook adds the extras this time from bang in front, doesn't miss those. Hull are ahead by 18 points to 6. That's the first tackle after the restart. Here is Sid Domick, and Leeds, Phil, are in a bit of a hole.
Real test now for the character. 18-6, the scoreboard's not a major worry, but some of the performances of the players is, I don't know whether it's the confidence that's dented and shattered, or whether they're just off the mark. Clinton Tupi at the moment, he's having an absolute shocker in his debut for Leeds. Really off the money. And I like to watch Hull play at the KC Stadium when the forwards offload the ball. They have that confidence, and players like Horn and Washbrook and the rest of them really thrive on the second phase play that they're given.
And I spoke to Peter Sharp last night, and he gave me his team. He just said, I want them to play some footy tonight. And, well, the tackle from Thackeray, his first involvement on Dowes, is too high.
Stupid play. You don't do that when you just come on. You don't do that when you've been on for 10 minutes. Show your strength, show your quality, yeah. Show you're a tough guy. But to throw a right arm like that when your team is down 18-6, irresponsible.
It gives Hull about another 10 or 15 metres.
You talk about the big problem in this Leeds defence. Clinton Tupi, as we've mentioned, not playing well at all. But Keith Senior, he's coming out of the line. They're confused.
And here is Dowes again to take it forward bravely. Stitches underneath the eye for Ewan Dowes, who was Hull's Player of the Year last year, by the way. Richard Swain to Richard Horn, taking on the defence. And they are in the danger zone for Leeds again. This is Richard Swain, 10 metres away. Paul King, Paul Cook. Cook changes his direction, comes back this way, gives it to King. He trundles it forward once more. Richard Swain. Swain in field to Paul Cook. Now he finds Richard Horn. Horn gets the ball to Washbrook. Oh! It was forward anyway, and Blacklock knocked the ball on.
It was an open line as well. This Leeds defence. You saw the winger just flash away. Ashley Gibson. He'd gone on a trek. I don't know where it was.
Do you think he did enough to put the Hull player off though for that pass, Steve? Well, that's what he'll claim in the video review.
Well, that's what he will claim, but it could have been a simple try if the pass had been okay. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from, but they're just not at the races, this Leeds outfit. the Rhinos, they're showing no fire at all.
Jamie Thackeray, they cheered him to the rafters here when he was a Hull player. Now, every time he gets the ball, he's going to be booed by this black and white army. Great offload by Tupi. Best moment of the match for him to Millard. On it goes to Sinfield. And a good job that Richard Horne was there, busy in defence, to haul down Gareth Ellis. The scores continue to come in from around the ground. Important night this, 5 matches taking place. An important night, of course, tomorrow. It's Wakefield travelling to near neighbours Castleford. And we will be with them on Sky Sports Live. It's John Keir's first match in charge. Pressure, pressure, top and bottom. Motu Tony collects the ball. That's the time, 7:30, Sky Sports 1. A little bit later than normal. Sky Sports 1, 7:30. Another penalty by Gareth Ellis.
Just sheer desperation by the Leeds forward there, trying to just stop the quick play of the ball. And that's what Motu Tony wanted to do. And he is not impressed. Sometimes you can have a bad day at the office. Other times you wish you'd just stayed in bed. And I think he'll be looking that way at the moment because they are confused. Remember, they had one heck of a game on the weekend. Hull have had the rest. So surely the petrol will be going out of the Leeds tank, especially late in that second half. They could be looking down the barrel of one big drubbing.
What's amazing really is just how much of the possession Hull have had. No wonder Leeds look tired, look flat, look that they're in trouble. The scoreboard says they're in trouble, and the possession there, 2/3 of it has been in Hull's favour and in the right part of the field, which is where they are right now.
Washbrook gets the ball away to Motu Tony again. It's Richard Swain at dummy half for Hull. He finds Richard Horne, who in turn finds Cook, and the ball bounces hither and thither. It's going to be 2 knock-ons, the referee says. First one, I think, will go to Leeds, head and feed.
Yeah, he's got it right there as well. Came back and knocked it forward. The reason why he let the advantage go to see if any Leeds player could have raced down the field of play, but there was no advantage. It's Phil Bentham, I must say, has taken control of it. Well,
a penalty at the scrum because Paul King used his foot. The prop forward.
Isn't that amazing? Don't panic, don't have a heart attack, you old guys that used to put their head down in the scrum, because many a hooker never used to have to get the ball. It was the prop that did it for you, but not these days. Now then, can Leeds just get themselves sorted out? It'll be a bonus if they can pick up a try before half-time, but they've just got to get back into some sort of rhythm. This is where the responsibility, Eddie, hangs on the shoulders of Kevin Sinfield. He's got to lift the team now.
And Jamie Peacock as well, and he steps out of that challenge. He looks over the shoulder, he nearly offloaded to Sinfield, who was hunting. That's Millard, here is Burrow. Always dangerous, Rob Burrow. Last tackle though there for Leeds Rhinos with Millard at dummy half. It goes to the left and he finds Sinfield. Here's another job for Blacklock to do. He hasn't done it. He has not done it again. He's knocked on. Well, he's having a nightmare with ball in the air.
Well, the other number 2 is also having the same problems, isn't he, Scott Donald? And we spoke about it beforehand, that the team is only as good as the weakest link. And both sides, credit to both coaches, Peter Sharp and Tony Smith, they know where that is. This fella, Scott Donald, and the other number 2 in black and white, Nathan Blacklock, that's just come up with the error.
Big chance here for Leeds then with Sinfield. Oh, he dropped the shoulder, went through the gap, and Whiting got an important challenge in with Radford. Here is Thackeray. Will be a dream debut for Thackeray to score on this ground for Leeds. Millard to Burrow. Loaded down the left-hand side, but they come back this way again.
Great defence, King.
King round the legs of Lee Smith. Quick play of the ball, though. Penalty. Paul King not standing square.
Quick thinking by Millard. Got to take the tap, get on with it. Keep the momentum going.
And they take a quick tap. And here is Big Ali Lawatite. Wide it goes to Gibson. He's lost the ball.
Great defence. Well,
Blacklock came up with the error originally. but he's come up there with a try-saving tackle.
And it was well tackled indeed. He knows he's not having a good game. He knows he's going to be put under pressure. This where he was not square, and this is where the experience of Millard whisked the sandwich. But I must say, they have lifted. Did you see the rest of the team go over? Oh, they made a boo-boo.
Through the arms of Domic, and luckily for him, Motu Tony was first to react. And Domic now trying to make amends. Gareth Rayner from dummy half. A man, of course, in black and white on a hat-trick tonight. Already, after just 32 minutes.
The point I was making, Eddie, you talk about the team spirit that you have to have if you're going to be successful. They know that Nathan Blacklock is going through a bit of a horror. So when he did that tackle, the entire team came over into the corner to congratulate him. That's a good sign. He's done a good job here as Peter Sharp.
Lee Radford takes the tackle midway inside his own half. It's the last one. Richard Swain has thumped it from inside his own 20. But it's, as John Keir so rightly said, a very big playing surface this. It's very wide, and as you say, John, it takes a lot of skill to get a 40-20 here.
It is, yes, but it's obviously a tactic that Hull are employing, because every time they get near the 40-metre mark, no matter what tackle, they're putting boot to ball, and a little let-off there by Hull to give Leeds a piggy out from the pressure. So it's been almost incessant pressure, hasn't it, this first half for the Leeds Rhinos?
Richard Swain not standing square at the play the ball. And keeping you up to date with the scores around the grounds throughout the course of tonight. It's looking good for Wigan. It's looking good for Saints in the dress rehearsal. Salford and Harlequins, it's an arm wrestle. And Bradford, well, they're beating Warrington, although Warrington latest to score. Millard, this is Burrow. Burrow finds Lee Smith, steps away from one challenge. Go, gifts the pass to Blacklock.
Well, Lee Smith, you could see he was furious. Blacklock didn't expect it. He just threw it straight into his breadbasket. Oh, thanks. I'll have it early.
They look like a team under pressure, Leeds, don't they? They really do. The mistakes they're making. I'll Titi's decision to pass to Gibson earlier when they're on the Hull's trial and first tackle. That decision there by Smith. They're not giving themselves a chance to get back in this game at present, despite the hard work they're doing in defence.
Remember, Leeds have never been beaten on this ground. This is the 6th attempt that Hull are making to try and get over the men from Headingley on their own turf. Not the best pass from McMenemy, but Hull managed to pick up the scraps. Richard Horne dabs the ball over the top. Horne will fly Hackett forward. Horne, it just wouldn't bounce for him. And to the rescue comes young Ashley Gibson. Here is Clinton Tupi.
That was ball game. It was all over if he could have got a boot to that. Tremendous skill on the last. When you've got a lead of 18-6, you can afford to do those things. Mostly a coach would say to you, look, we're on the last, let's get it right down into the corner.
That's a blow for Leeds. Peacock is off. I must say, he looked a little bit flat in the semi-final last week. And Tony Smith looks a little jaded on the sideline, doesn't he? I must say, Steve, you know, when you look at this Leeds pack, I know that they've dominated many teams this year, but they haven't got a Barry McDermott anymore, have they?
Well, they haven't got the fire, they haven't got someone out there, and that was the reason when I thought when Tony Smith had put Jamie Thackeray in with his chance, that the mere fact that the whole side and the crowd would have got onto him would lift him to bigger and better things, but he can't do it on his own. Oh, he was tripped, was he?
Well, no. Thackeray was telling the referee the referee was having none of it. That's high again. And this time it's Rob Burrow. Well, if it's a high tackle from Rob Burrow, it's pretty high.
Is it ever? Must have got a step ladder. Yeah, it's one.
He's had plenty of himself, though, hasn't he? Over the years, he's taken a few.
He's picked the wrong one there, though, hasn't he?
It has, but the important thing, though, Eddie, every time Leeds are getting into the whole 20-metre zone, they're getting a penalty out of it. The indiscipline is just allowing Hull to clear that 20 metres without doing any real hard work. And once they get into a good ball field position, they're playing some really good rugby league.
Just saw Jamie Thackeray hit the deck. I tell you what, it looked a little bit like an Italian soccer player in the World Cup when he went down. 4 minutes, just less than, to half-time. And Paul Cook, infield to Motatoni. Here is Ewan Downs.
Well, this is a time that Hull just force it forward, then get the kick into the in-goal area. just control the game. They're not panicking. Their opposition are.
Graham Horne to Richard Horne to Paul Cook. A stab down the line. Rayner's after it again. It came off Rayner's boot. It will be head and feed to Leeds.
Tremendous.
Oh, it's head and feed to Hull, says the referee. He got the call off the touch judge.
Well, does Rob Barrow get a foot to this? I think he might. Sheer desperation. Yeah,
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Good call from the touch judge.
It's a good call from the touches, but it's good work by Rob Barrow, isn't it? What urgency he showed there, and he needed to.
Well, has he just delayed the inevitable? Because here is Dominic again. Jamie Jones-Buchanan could have been penalised for a flop then.
Eddie, the game's at stake here in these next 5 tackles. Leeds have to hang on.
Motu Tony scragged to the floor by Kevin Sinfield and Keith Senior. They want it feeding this way. They go down the right-hand channel though. And this is Graham Horne, is it? No, it's young Washbrook again. It's Richard Horne. He finds Paul Cook. Now they come down the left side. This is Gareth Carvell. Got the ball away. And Dominic, well, he's now in the front row of the stands, said Dominic.
Teasing them. That's all you can say. Just overrun it slightly to the centre, Sid Dominic. That could have been a nice leap. Said hello to the youngsters that are playing at half-time, to two Hull sides that will entertain at the break.
Chev Walker to Scott Donald. Still deep inside their own half of the field, of course, Hull. They have 1 minute 40 seconds leads to try and get themselves on the scoreboard at the other end before half-time. And here comes Thackeray again, taking on Graham Horne this time.
I think, Eddie, that Leeds will be quite happy to go in just 2 scores down, because they've had a real batter in this first 40.
That was the case last week in the Cup semi-final. 12 all on the scoreboard at half-time, and Leeds would have been delighted with that. But they were blown away in the second half. They'll need to play better, won't they, than just rely on this half-time break to turn the game around.
Gareth Carvell wrestles Jamie Jones-Buchanan to the deck, and the kick is from Millard down the line. And it stands for Motu Tony. And Motu Tony will run the ball flat. He'll try and get away from Jamie Jones-Buchanan.
I think that told its story as well. The kick down into the corner, but the Leeds outfit, the chase was very slow indeed. I think the petrol tank has strung a leak.
Harassing here from Ian Kirk on Graham Horne. 3 tackles gone. Half a minute left to the break. Here goes Gareth Rayner again. On one knee, gets it away to Paul Cook. And Cook, he manages to offload to Nathan Blacklock. Well, when they move the ball, they're exciting, Hull, aren't they? I think Phil mentioned during the first half here, when the Hull forwards offload in the tackle, it's exciting to watch.
Certainly is, because this Leeds defence, as we've mentioned on several occasions, they're all at sea, they're not going up as a unit. So once you make the half break, there's going to be a real opening.
Paul Cook has drilled the ball all along the deck, and Hull are on their way to the dressing room, because he knew, having looked at the big screen and saw that there were about 4 or 5 seconds remaining in the first half, he knew there would be nothing left for Leeds to do but to take their medicine after that first 40 and go off and hear the words of wisdom from coach Tony Smith. Can he produce a speech that will lift the Rhinos in the second half? Because Hull have the game in their pockets at the moment. They lead by 18 points to 6. One of their revivals. Remember what happened very early in the season at Wigan. Leeds were trailing at half-time, came back and won the match. Can they do the same again? Casey Stadium, perfect surface, great conditions, and Hull are about to get the second half underway. They will attack in black and white from left to right as we watch. Here we go. Paul Cook with the deep kick. Sinfield is underneath it. Here is Jamie Jones-Buchanan. The chase from the kickoff is good, and Richard Whiting affects the first tackle of the second half.
Well, the only thing really that could rock the boat as far as the Hull side are concerned is that if they allow complacency to come into their game. I can't see that. I'm sure that Peter Sharp, their coach, has made it quite clear to them that he doesn't want to just win by the odd points, he wants to really demoralise the opposition. And the way that Hull played in that first 40, it was outstanding. Simple as that.
This is Clinton Tupy. He is dumped to the ground by Richard Swain and Gareth Carvell. And here now comes Jamie Thackeray. He gets Leeds Rhinos to halfway. This is the last tackle. Millard will find Sinfield. There's the kick, this time angled towards Nathan Blacklock's line. Blacklock picks it up, the Hull winger. There's the tackle from Jamie Jones-Buchanan. Let's go down to the sideline. Bill is alongside a young man who's hoping to make a comeback for Hull in the next couple of weeks, Kirk Yeaman.
Thanks, Eddie. Yes, Kirk's been out for 8 weeks. Not far off now.
No, just another 2 weeks left. Hopefully targeting the Salford game at home.
Are you missing it?
Oh, it's doing me head in, watching the lads, doing so well, winning. You just want to be out there.
Especially a game like this.
Well, these are the games you want to play in, Leeds, Bradford, Saints, any of the top teams, that's what you want to play in.
Now, at the moment, certainly looking good for the team.
Yeah, we started strong. Took 2 tries, going 8-0 up. Unfortunately, couldn't get the kicks, but good start. But we can't take the foot off the gas because I know what a quality side Leeds are.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, Leeds haven't been playing well. You've got to feel that they could put it together still.
Yeah, I think form goes out the window, in these kind of games. Like the Razor game, for big teams, and Leeds are a quality team. We know that, so hopefully we won't take the foot off the gas and we'll push on from here.
Thanks, Kirk. Good luck with the comeback.
Cheers.
Kirk Yeaman, who was knocking on the door for Great Britain, of course, in the test against the Kiwis when he was so badly injured. And won't be long now before he's back, and we'll try and cement a place on the plane down to the Tri-Nations at the end of the year. This is Shane Millard, and here is Rob Burrow. He can wide and find Jamie Jones-Buchanan. Now it's with Ali Lawatiti. Here is Gibson. Gibson can't go anywhere. He's dumped to the ground. That's tackle number 5. Tackled by Danny Washbrook. Sinfield, the kicker again. This is straight at Matutoni, who allows it to bounce, takes control of the football, will run it back.
That's been a pretty good start to the second half from Leeds' point of view. In comparison to what they did in the first, they've completed both sets, they've kicked the ball deep, and they've chased with some enthusiasm and endeavour. And they've just got to continue to build on the back of that and hope that they can try and contain and get more of this possession.
Leeds need the first score of this second half, John Keir, don't they?
It's very important, but they just need to go through the processes, Eddie. That's all they need to do to build that confidence. But they need also some field position, because Hull are just playing set for set. If Leeds kick the ball deep into the Hull half, they're happy just to trundle the ball to halfway and put a good kick in and say to the Rhinos, go on, you have to go 80 metres if you want to score.
It's a high up and under from Paul Cook. Everyone's offside. Oh, he's made a right porridge of that, Donald.
Could be a penalty, will it? Yeah, we got them offside.
The touch judge shouted. I think we could actually hear him.
No, it was
everybody
referee.
Offside.
No, the referee, Eddie, that shouted out, you are all offside. I heard that quite clearly, and he has got it right, but I must say, it wasn't the best attempt, was it?
Some kicks are just so good, they're uncatchable. I think this is one here, loses it in the lights. It's swirling, dipping, spinning, probably even dips away from him right at the end. He can close as he can get. He's a foot on the ball.
Very similar to Chris Thorman's kick last week to both Smith and Donald.
Well, Scott Donald will be breathing a huge sigh of relief, because it's Leeds who are on the attack, not other way round. And Leeds looking to begin the fight back, begin to get back into this match. And Sinfield is fed again, and this now is Burrow. Oh, and off the chest of Lee Smith. And I must say, young Lee Smith is going through the horrors at the moment as well. He was brilliant early on in the season, young Lee Smith. 20 on Tuesday of next week. McMenemy's away for Hull. Ball went to ground. Could not be picked up by Blacklock. Here is Senior. Good tackle by Washbrook.
That's got to be a penalty, surely. He's touched the line. They've given them a benefit of the doubt because he moved him away. It really should have been a penalty for Leeds. Either way, they've got the possession.
This is Sinfield. Now it's with Rob Burrow. And Burrow will fire the pass wide. They have a man on the overlap. The man on the overlap is Scott Donald. And Leeds are in. Scott Donald with a try for Leeds. Just what they wanted. Start of this second half.
And boy, will that do a lot for his confidence. He knows he's going through the horror. In fact, the entire Leeds side needed that because they knew I was getting to the point that Boris Karloff was going to run out. It was such a horror movie as far as they're concerned. They got the benefit of the doubt, remember, when they were all offside. It was good refereeing by Phil Bentham. Not the best attempt by Gareth Rayner, and he knows it. And they take full opportunity. They took their chances. They got themselves into a position. Remember, John Keir has been harping on about the fact, so has Phil Clark, that they haven't been anywhere near the Hull line. They have now.
They got near it too, didn't they? And they showed the speed that they have. It's got them out of trouble in the past. It's just got them out of trouble. Scott Donald's gone in for his 13th try, and an important one now to lift Leeds mentally and physically.
Yeah, it was when Hull went away from their script, Eddie. Shane McMenemy made the half break. It was a sloppy offload, and that allowed Leeds to start that set in midfield. And look at the consequence. It's a try in the corner.
Kevin Sinfield lining the conversion attempt up. I think we must qualify what Steve-O is saying. Scott Donald is going through the horrors defensively, but boy, he knows his way to the try line.
Well, he was lucky, wasn't he, with the bomb that went up. The Hull players deemed offside. That got Scott Donald and the Leeds side out of trouble. A couple of minutes later, he's come up with a good try.
Sinfield with three-quarters actually of the crowd here tonight, trying to put him off with this conversion. Oh, and he's hit the post. Sometimes they hit the post and slide over. That one hit the post and came straight back. 18-10, but what Tony Smith wanted, the first try of this second half.
And it could not have been scored from a better person than this fella, Scott Donald. He knows he's under the pressure. He knows he has not been playing well, but he's not on his own. There's been plenty around him over the past few weeks.
Ironically, Scott Donald was under Peter Sharp at Manly 3 years ago in 2003, so Peter Sharp knows all about him. Lee Smith's underneath the kickoff. Jamie Peacock will run it back at Richard Whiting and no further. Millard gets the ball away to Thackeray.
Now, the most important thing as far as Hull are concerned now is not to get sucked in to a bit of a fighting game.
Lauatiti.
Because if they start doing that, they may give away silly penalties, allow Leeds good field position. Can't afford to do it.
Leeds have got all the big guns out there, haven't they? Thackeray, Peacock, Lauatiti. They're all there. All the bruisers, all the players who can make ground forward. Here's Thackeray again.
And they're just showing us there, Eddie, in those 5 carries, that they've got the go forward that people have questioned at times. Maybe they've got them up to the halfway line. How can the rest of the players with their chase put pressure on Hull?
Rayner collects it on the bounce. Oh, and Rayner! So nearly away. Manages to get the ball in field, though, riskily. Finds Motu Tony.
Ooh, that looked like a knock-on. It must have come off the boot. He went down, went very close to it.
I'm sure Coach Tony Smith, won't be happy with Leeds kicking towards Gareth Rayner because he is absolutely electric with his footwork, and he always gets the set going forward.
Well, the most amazing thing, John, is the fact that he pinpointed Nathan Blacklock so often in the first half, and now they've just shied away from it.
Dowes will play the ball here to Richard Swain, who will find Richard Horne. Horne will drift the ball behind the defence, and Rayner's after this. Ooh, he's so close. So close, Rayner. Donald dawdled, remember, in the semi-final, and he nearly conceded another.
Well, again, he went for the shoulder charge.
Certainly what, that could have been a goal line dropout. Having a look at that on the replay.
I think the full ball had actually gone out over.
But what a marvellous kick, Steve-O. Wasn't it a great kick? But it's the chase that makes the kick, and Gareth Rayner's chase is absolutely phenomenal.
Knock on against Leeds again. Well, Leeds, they capitalised on, I think, a missed call by touch judge and referee, but Walker's gone without it.
Lost it completely.
Look at this, because Lee Smith is the player. And watch his foot, Steve-O.
Oh, it certainly hits him.
His foot is on, and he's dead in goal.
Yep.
And that ball is taken out by Lee Smith.
Yeah, it's a mistake.
tough call though. I mean, remember we saw that stop, start in slow motion. These fellas see it at 100 miles an hour.
To be fair, I'm not complaining with the officials tonight because they've been superb. And this Phil Bentham really has controlled this game exceptionally well.
This is Carvel, who gets the ball away to McManamy. They switch the direction of the attack to Cook. Oh, Cook through it right behind Motutoni. Good job that Sid Domic is there, but they've lost a bit of momentum here.
Tremendous work by Domic there. Any youngsters watching, you notice how he put his body between him and the ball and the on-rushing defence.
Here's Richard Horne again. It's off the outside of the boot, looking for Nathan Blacklock, knocks it forward, and it is picked up by Ashley Gibson.
Peter Sharp will be furious with that. It was a nothing kick, not applying the pressure.
And Blacklock was a little lazy getting up to that, wasn't he? There was a bit of a patter cake forward as well.
Really good question here now, Eddie, for Leeds. Will they continue to do what they did to start the second half? 5 simple carries to try and get up to halfway line. Or will they try and go wide with possession? That was a bit of a crossfield run from Lauatiti. That's a bit more straight and direct by Chev Walker, but they're not making the easy carries and a terrible offload.
It's a knock on here by the Hull man, Gareth Carvel.
Well, after this wonderful display, and no doubt about it, he got a fingertip to it. Matter that it didn't hit the ground, that it hit Paul Cook first. It's gone a little bit sour, and it was difficult to think that what we were going to get after what Hull produced in the first 40 minutes, which was outstanding. One of the other scores.
Salford are after 5th place. They will go level on points with Warrington. And Salford, in fact, will take 5th place from Warrington on points difference if it stays as it is right now. Bradford, if they beat Warrington, it just about cements them in 4th. And maybe looking a little bit higher than that. That's the situation now at the bottom. Not a good night for Wakefield.
Eddie, we haven't played yet.
Not a good night tonight for Wakefield. Wonder what's going to happen tomorrow, John.
I suggest fireworks, Eddie.
No love lost between Castleford and Wakefield. No love lost between Hull and Leeds ever. Should be a full house at the Jungle. It's a pretty good crowd here tonight. Here is Peacock. Shane Millard at dummy half for Leeds. Burrow flicks the ball up. Ryan Bailey. Tackle number 4. They're 10 metres inside the Hull half. Millard passes the ball wide. Walker is away from Domic temporarily. Last tackle. Millard indicating he's going down the right, comes left. Sinfield, Blacklock makes another mess of it. Lauatiti will score for Leeds. Blacklock is having a nightmare in the air.
Just check the challenge, please, on the catcher.
And Lauatiti thinks he's scored, but Dave Campbell wants to be looking at the challenge on Blacklock.
I think that's fine.
Now, is he in the air when the tackle comes in? Yes, he is. But he's lost it before it's gone.
He's completely lost it, to be fair.
They've got to put pressure on the receivers.
Of course they are.
It's a contest, Steve. Is it ball goes in there? It's a contest. And for me,
it's got to be a try.
He's lost the ball, and
simple as that. Before he's made contact, so therefore the momentum. He can't stop the momentum. And this, to me, will be given as a try.
You've got to chase and contest, Steve. That's the top and bottom of it. It's up to the receiver to reel the ball in.
I'm with you. He's lost it there before the contact, as far as I'm concerned. And therefore, this should be a TRY.
Leeds deserve a try, but the more often this is shown, the more you think perhaps the video referee is going to award a penalty to Hull.
Oh, it's like taking your wife shopping, Phil. You don't know how much she's going to spend. You don't know what's going to be the end result, do you?
I wonder, hang on, is he looking here for a knock-on by... He can't surely be looking for a knock-on by Sinfield, can he?
No, it's Gibson, isn't it?
It's just lost it. Just lost it. And
No, it's Sinfield. No, it is. Yes, you're right. It is Gibson.
No, it's play on. It's a try. I don't know what he's messing around at.
This won't be given.
Dave Campbell, what is the verdict? Here we go. Oh! A huge call from David Campbell. It's a penalty kick to Hull.
He's lost it before there's even any contact.
He's airborne though when he's hit.
Do you know Leeds lost their last Super League match on a very contentious decision? A forward pass from Lauatiti. This one again could be another one. They're not far off it, but yet, isn't it funny? People's perception, because they lost to St Helens, then they lost the semi-final. People talk about a crisis. This is a close game. Steve-O thinks it should be 18-16, and most people would have to agree.
Yeah. Well, Nathan Blacklock should be sending Dave Campbell a Christmas card this festive season.
He was buying him a holiday.
Warrington fighting back against the Bulls.
Look, I know the rules, and the rules state that if you're in possession and you're taken out, right, before your feet hit the ground, that's fine. But he didn't have the ball. This is a physical contact game, you know.
Well, that's all in the past. Here come Hull, and if they score now, you could see why Leeds, they would just fall in a heap. But the Rhinos are built of stern stuff. Graham Horn.
Are we looking at a field goal? Too early, perhaps.
Richard Horn. Oh, lovely kick through. Whiting. Whiting for Hull. Second try for Richard Whiting. A beautiful kick through by Richard Horn that bamboozled the Leeds defence. And Whiting, he hacked it on and picked it up at the base of the post for his first. He's hacked it on and picked the pocket of Lee Smith for his second.
The way that they've been utilising the kicking game has been outstanding. He threw the little shimmy and the little dummy and a perfect weighted kick. Superb. You can't say anything more than that. Surprised me the official was satisfied that Whiting was onside. He certainly got there quickly, but that is a bitter blow to the Rhinos. They could only have been 2 points adrift if that Lauatiti try had been given. It wasn't.
Do you know the best teams put their opponents under pressure on the last tackle? Again, a last tackle play by Hull comes up with a try. Richard Whiting scores again for Hull. You can see how close he likes to get to the try line, and when he gets close, he knows how to get over. The last tackle options from Hull tonight have been incredible.
Well, Paul Cook has missed a couple tonight. He's missed 3, in fact. He has missed 4. Paul Cook is not here tonight with his kicking boots. That is 8 points missing to the Hull scoreline. He's well onside, Whiting.
Yeah,
way onside.
On that white
Good
shot.
call from
you
the
can
touch
see
judge.
that, yeah. A real mess in the Leeds defence, I'm afraid.
It's a very good try. It's a great piece of skill from Richard Horn. Good skill from Richard Whiting. And Hull have got back to the script, haven't they? Yep. Get to the Leeds end, put them under pressure, and certainly works.
Do you think Paul Cook, John, is feeling the effects of these 2 operations he's had over the past fortnight for the kidney stones?
He's bound to do it. He's got an 88% success rate with his goal kicking, so you know, you'd expect him at least to have another 2 or 3, but it's a tough call. He's doing really well to be out there playing.
Yes, he is. It's a brave effort from him. Who would be the kicker? Richard Swain, maybe? Oops.
Well, Richard Horn can kick a ball. Richard Swain can.
Tony's just gone without it.
Yeah, Richard Whiting has done some kick practice as well, so there's plenty out there. They all fancy themselves a kicker anyway.
Well, at 22-10, he can still feel the pressure despite having the lead. As the fullback, Tony, as Eddie has just mentioned, went without the football.
Do you know, Stephen, when you saw that mistake, I was watching all the Leeds players. Their body language didn't strike that there was a lot of life in it. They didn't rush to form the scrum. They didn't think we're only 2 scores behind. There's plenty of time left.
I think they're tired, Phil, and we know that. It's only 5 days since they played. And on top of that, you know, the disappointment of that try being disallowed, it really knocks the stuffing out of you.
Well, here they come again with Keith Senior. Tackle number 4 completed on him.
And let's not forget, this is the time when Leeds would be looking for the mercurial effort from Danny Maguire. He's the man that can create problems. put a bit of doubt in the opposition defence. They haven't done that, Leeds, tonight.
The kick from Rob Burrow, and underneath it, oof! Well, there's no doubt there that Sean Briscoe had his feet on the deck when Burrow bundled him over.
And there again, it's a split-second thing, isn't it?
Yes, but he's absolutely timed it to perfection.
Yeah, he has.
Rob Burrow.
That's a great play, an absolute wonderful play to get his team. He's given his teammates a chance here of surviving and getting back into this match.
It's a Hull goal line dropout.
It's a fair old present for Sean Briscoe, isn't he? He's just become a dad, you know, Eddie, this week.
Has he? Congratulations
He
to him.
certainly has.
Here is Ryan Bailey for Leeds.
Well, they do say giving birth is painful, but I think he would have gone through the horrors on that one.
Here's Millard. This is Peacock. Leeds aren't done yet. Millard at dummy half. Now it's Lauatiti. Lauatiti gets it to Senior. Quick hands, too quick for Gibson. It was behind the youngster, to be fair to him.
Again, just the lack of coordination and the ability and the eagerness of a youngster.
Steve, let's just have a look at this again. This is the contentious issue. You see that tackle, had Blacklock taken the ball there, the tackle would have been
a penalty,
completed,
yes.
Then it would have been a penalty.
But he didn't have the ball in his hand.
The intent is there to tackle him in the air, and that's why apparently Dave Campbell has ruled the try out.
That's out and back in. That's out and back in.
So if we collide with someone that knocks the ball into touch and they say, oh, well, that's a penalty, come on. We may as well play tiddlywinks if that's the case.
Here's Briscoe. This is Richard Swain at dummy half.
Do you know, I think if those Leeds players had actually been looking up, maybe to the ball coming down, they may have just got away with that, challenging for the ball,
yes,
rather than directly tackling the fullback.
They were going for Blacklock, and that's why it's been disallowed. Whether he lost the ball or not, the intent was there. We've got some injury news, and it's more bad news for Hull, is it, Bill?
Well, it's a problem, certainly, because Mr. Dependable Sid Domick is off the field at the moment, having stitches, I'd imagine, in a very nasty gash over his right eye. And, of course, he's rock solid defensively and gives them a few options going forward as well, so they'll miss him just at the moment.
This is Lee Smith now for the Rhinos. Oh, Briscoe was a little bit late on that. Here is Burrow, trying to inject a bit of life into this Leeds side. Sinfield takes the responsibility again, as the skipper should and does so often. Oh dear, oh, his face creases in pain.
He got twisted there on the leg, that was a mile forward.
This is Bailey.
They're still in this game, you know.
No, they are. Millard finds Burrow. Burrow goes wide to Chev Walker. Chev Walker back to Rob Burrow. Oh, and Paul Cook got a crack in the face then. This is the last one. And it's a kick from Lee Smith. And Blacklock feels it cleanly.
Gets an ironic cheer from the Leeds fans there.
It's an ironic cheer from Leeds. It's a sigh of relief from Blacklock and the Hull supporters and players.
Is that the difference, John, between these two sides? What Hull have come up with on those last plays, those kicks, they've come up with tries, haven't they, for the black and white?
They really have, yeah. Their last tackle plays have been high quality, and they've just let Hull off the hook there, the Leeds Rhinos. But I've been impressed how they've increased the tempo, you know, the last 10 minutes or so, and it shows there's still some heart beating beneath that blue and amber shirt.
This is Carvel.
Well, we're into the final quarter now, and this surely will be the time when Peter Sharp says, nothing fancy, let's just grind his way into the red zone, the attacking zone, and then we know we've got the quality of the kick. We've proved it time and time again today.
High hanging kick, it's another tester for Lee Smith. And Horn timed his challenge on Smith to perfection. The foot was on the deck when it came in. Just split second timing between perfection and penalty.
Between try or no try, Eddie?
Correct.
Split second, it's all a matter of inches, I don't know.
And Salford are giving Harlequins a seeing to. Saints, 44-4, and Wigan easily beating the Catalan Dragons. I don't think that Huddersfield will be too concerned. I mean, obviously by the scoreline that's going against them, but Twickenham on the 26th of August will be a slightly different kettle of fish.
Well, I think it's been so long, well over 50 years, that the town of Huddersfield has had something to celebrate, and
they've had the Heritage Centre, Steve-O.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and it certainly brings a lot to the town. But you can't blame the players and the club officials and the supporters themselves. I'm sure that they did enjoy themselves for a couple of days at least.
But Steve-O, St Helens got through to the final at a canter, and you expected them to do that.
Yep.
Whereas Huddersfield, it was unexpected, so it would drain them emotionally as well. And the effort was absolutely phenomenal to beat this Leeds Rhino side, 30 points to 12.
And we're seeing the effect of that game
Exactly
last week
right.
in 2 matches here in the Super League, which, well, I was gonna harp on, but I won't.
Well, amazingly, you know, Leeds' cup defeat actually might do them a favour in the long run. I say the long run, I'm talking about to the grand final at Old Trafford. Very difficult to peak for 2 big occasions and to win both. Leeds now no longer in the cup have one focus, that is to get to the grand final. They might not do it here tonight. They might not get themselves back on the road to it tonight, but they're heading in the right direction.
Oh, neat play that was from Richard Swain. Washbrook is the man at dummy half, right on halfway. This is Paul Cook. Oh, clattered. Was that high? He looks at the referee, and the referee says no. McMenemy.
That's all it needs.
Good kick.
Common sense. Shoulder. Nothing wrong with that at all. Did he rip the ball out, though? That was just saying, but that's all they need to force them back, especially with this huge crowd. Listen to them.
You know, Shane McMenemy doesn't kick the ball very often, but when he does, it's to good effect, as was shown in Gareth Rayner's try here, as was shown in the kick there. And in the final at Cardiff, you know, it was his kick that forced the header from Calderwood that allowed Hull to score in that final 3 minutes. So, a big game player, Shane McMenemy.
Yeah, he's much underrated, isn't he? He really is.
Well, it's going to take something exceptional now from the Rhinos. The clock is ticking away. We haven't seen many runs from dummy half from Rob Burrow, but I have noticed that he has started to get into that position.
There's Millard dummy half. Here is Gareth Ellis. Whoa, the ball pops up to that man, McMenemy. Brushes away from Burrow.
You know, the Hull's defence is very efficient. I think that's the best word I'd use to describe it. Nobody seems to stand out, but they all seem to do the job at the right time.
Steve,
Forced a mistake out of Ellis, and now happily with the ball back in the Leeds half.
When we were last here, Steve, oh, hang on, I'll come back to that in a minute, because Blacklock will feed it wide to Gareth Rayner again. And Rayner bounces off a couple. He's very quick on his feet. Darting run from Rayner. There's a phalanx of Leeds defenders around him. Inside the 20-metre zone, Rayner will play the ball. Here is Richard Horne. Now it's Paul King. Steve, I was going to say, when we were last here, you said Hull weren't the real deal. If they thought they'd get to Old Trafford, they're kidding themselves. What are you saying tonight?
You're still right, and I'll take it back. The way that they played, especially in the first 40 minutes, it was outstanding. But they have fallen off the pace against a Leeds side that really should have been taken to the sword. There's only 12 points in it.
You're never happy. Last tackle. Cook, drop goal attempt from Cook, and that puts them 13 points ahead, which means, of course, that Leeds have to score 3 times to get back into this match. Steve-O is bowing to Paul Cook.
Well, it's the obvious thing to do, isn't it? They have now got to score on 3 occasions, and that just stretches away, digs another knife into the back.
Steve-O, don't great players that can remain calm, composed and make the correct decisions under pressure. Yes. And I would suggest that's exactly what that gentleman's done there, Paul Cook. He's done well to get out there, and he's been so influential upon the game.
And his last drop goal, remember, won the match against St Helens. A famous night that they had at Nosey Road.
It is a vital component in rugby league. We've seen that. Hull won the Challenge Cup last year, courtesy of it. That'll be a knock-on.
second time. Hey.
Richard Swain and Ryan Bailey
Who's ball?
arguing between themselves.
You know, the problem is we're talking about Paul Cook,
Concentration, fellas, come on.
is that sometimes he looks extremely lethargic, as though he's not interested. But he's a classy player, and a lot of people say that because he doesn't run around like a lunatic, that he's not capable of being a top-quality international. I disagree.
It's the X factor that I described. If you're looking, if you're 5 points down or 4 points down, and you're thinking who can win us a game, you'd look straight at the hole number 13.
Well, who's going to win the game for the Leeds Rhinos? Can they win the game? Burrow's a match winner. Richard Horne flew out of the line and missed him. The next three didn't.
Come on.
3 changes left in the last 13 minutes of this game, and this is a chance for Leeds, but he's forced back to the ground is Jamie Peacock. He plays the ball to Matt Diskin. Here is Kevin Sinfield. Sinfield slides the kick through. Could be a try here. Could be a try for Leeds. And I think, is it Jamie Jones-Buchanan? It is Jamie Jones-Buchanan. Has he got the try that breathes life into the Leeds challenge? Well, he's well onside.
No doubt about that. Deft kick as he got to it. Tony's putting him under a lot of pressure.
Oh, it's a knock on, isn't it?
Yeah. Sadly, this will be no try. I think he gets a hand to it there, and that is the knock on. It's a close thing, and so is Alawa Titi no try, but I think that is quite convincing.
Yeah, I think he's not. It's a great effort to get there, isn't it, from the prop forward, but I can't see that being given.
Well, you were all giving the try to Lauatiti not long ago. Except you, Philip.
I think he's brushed it.
No try here, is it? They're not far off with their Leeds.
No.
Cook's twin brother, Kevin Sinfield, came up with the play this time. Put the kick through, but he doesn't have... Look, probably outnumbered, isn't it? 2 Hull shirts, only 1 Leeds player.
The longer he looks at this, do you think he's thinking about giving it?
I think he might give it, because he's saying that Jamie Jones-Buchanan has not knocked on, and that it's that downward pressure yet again.
What is the decision now from Dave Campbell? No try. Smile on the face of Tony Smith, a resigned smile, and a resigned smile from Jamie Jones-Buchanan.
You know, Leeds might not get back in to win this game, but I'm really impressed with some of the senior players. Sinfield, Peacock, the body language in the last 10 minutes, Eddie, really has impressed me. Look, they're trying to take this game all the way to Hull, who with home advantage, maybe just too strong here tonight.
15
Good
wins.
emotional reply here from Leeds.
15 wins for Leeds from 21 meetings since Hull joined the Super League way back in '98. But this could be Hull's night. It could be their first win at the KC Stadium against the Leeds Rhinos since they moved here. And of course they've won the last 7 at home this season, and Leeds have got the ball back. Mistake by Hull, that's the 0 tackle. 6 more to go for Leeds with Diskin, and he finds Thackeray.
When you think about it, Hull are only leading the second half 5 points to 4. When you would have thought that Leeds would have capitulated, and they haven't.
Now they've shown great character, haven't they? But the possession's evened itself out, but they really have shown some good character.
This is Burrow, and that's Diskin, I think. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. It's Jamie Jones. A long way, isn't it, from up here down there to that pitch. That's Tupi with a kick through. Collected in goal by Rayner. Oh, he's terrific, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's so elusive, John.
He's an absolutely outstanding wingman. If he's the best British wingman, I'll grow my hair.
Is he as good as you, John, when you used to dance down that wing at the Jungle?
It was Weldon Road in those days, wasn't it?
It was, and if I was picking a team, I'd pick Gareth Rayner first, I'll tell you.
Listen, when it was Weldon Road, you didn't do any dancing.
Well, it's Rayner and Carney for Great Britain, and is it on the wings in the Tri-Nations?
It's certainly Gareth Rayner on one wing.
He deserves it.
And that's a good set of 6 defensively by Leeds here. The kick not the best, straight into the arms of Lee Smith. Back come the Rhinos again as we enter the last 10 minutes of the match. Great tackle though by Paul King. Burrow away from King. quick on his feet, Rob Burrow as well.
Good job that King got to him. Second attempt, he looked as though he was away.
This is Clinton Tupee. Clinton Tupee is away. A great ball to Jamie Jones Buchanan, who won't be denied this time. Well, Clinton Tupee started very shakily indeed, but he showed there the class and the reason why Leeds have brought him over from the New Zealand Warriors early, and give congratulations also to Jamie Jones Buchanan for following him forward.
Oh, tremendous footwork, wasn't it? But they paid the price of going far too high. Good support. He was denied a few moments earlier, but not on this occasion. It's an outstanding effort. We thought that the Rhinos were going to just absolutely fall apart. 5 days preparation for this game. Hull had the luxury of a fortnight.
The conversion is successful from Kevin Sinfield. It's 23-16. Jamie Jones Buchanan tried, but remember the drop goal from Paul Cook. It could be the difference between the two sides at the end.
Do you know, there's no pressure, I don't think, now on Leeds in this match. There was going into the game, but there isn't now, because everybody, even their own fans, don't think that they can win. That maybe frees up them to play in a style which makes them incredibly dangerous now in the remaining minutes.
Ashley Gibson. And King managed to ankle tap him. Richard Swain finishes him off. Sid Domick, we're hearing, will not be back on the field for the Black and Whites. Thackeray plays the ball. It was a bit ragged in the ruck then, and Hull were responsible. Peacock gets to his feet, plays the ball. Diskin, no way forward.
Good work from the first and second markers. They needed it.
Alarm bells here ringing for Hull, you know. 8 minutes to go. Still time for the Rhinos. Walker takes the tackle on halfway.
Got to be careful not to give away a penalty. They've done that. Now then, what's the chip over?
Sinfield.
Great position.
It was well watched by Paul Cook.
Talk about brains. That guy has got plenty. When he gets out on the football field, he reads it ever so well. He knew that they were going to do something that he was capable of doing, and that's a little chip over and chase. He put himself into the sweeper position and diffused anything.
Drive forward again by Ewan Dowes.
This'll be no frills. Well, it should be.
There's Cook down the line. Here comes Rayner. Here comes Gareth Rayner, but the ball beats everybody. Right, it's going to be an early call for the man of the match. He might emerge yet, you know, in the next 7 minutes. We're taking a chance. Dave?
Well, Leeds have somehow hung in here, but it's been mainly Hull names that have been mentioned up here. Gareth Rayner, those 2 early tries, and he's rarely given him any peace since. Richard Whiting's certainly taken his chance. And there's some good mentions for Danny Washbrook as well, showing his potential at loose forward. But the man we've gone for, not for the first time, when Hull have played well, it's been his leadership that's been instrumental in it, his work rates, his general contribution to this game. A man of the match tonight, Richard Swain.
I think people were expecting that to go to Paul Cook, but Richard Swain is the man who gets the Gillette Sports Pack of man of the match. It's been a solid performance from him.
Was Paul Cook trying to make a statement for the man of the match award? He's not had a share for quite some time.
Well,
Yes.
the one thing about Richard Swain is that you know he's going to be, oh, and that's an interception.
It is. Blacklock was first to that. It came off Walker. Whiting dummy half. This again is Graham Horn, looking to establish himself for the rest of this year under Peter Sharp again. Radford. Time against the Rhinos, and so also that 7-point advantage that Hull have built. This is Richard Horn. Here is Sean Briscoe. Oh! Well, that has to be high. Not given.
The official says.
Cook.
What odds for the drop goal, but he's having to play the football.
Last tackle.
Pressure kick here, Steve. Oh, that's what it'll be.
From Richard Horn. Adapt to the in-goal area and work for Gibson to do. He can't do it. Graham Horn. Fantastic chase.
Well, the kicking game from the 2 halfbacks in the Black and Whites has been outstanding. Paul Cook, Richard Horn, they have just tormented Oh yeah, that was a slap. It was missed.
They've gone for a short draw line drop out, and Richard Whiting has got it. Gibson though manages to wrestle him to the ground. Radford, it was a gamble Leeds took. Will it be a gamble that backfires? Swain, the man of the match at dummy half. Infield it goes to Richard Horne. Horne fires the pass to Blacklock. Oh!
Knock on.
Off the head of a Hull player, and Peter Sharp is furious. Is he furious with the pass? Is he furious with Blacklock?
Well, he's furious because the fact they've tried to be playing pretty football when they've got the game set up.
He's furious, Steve-O, because they went away from the script. The script was just those pressure kicks from Horne, just keep getting possession back, and the time runs away.
Who'd be a coach, John?
Me?
And I believe you're enjoying it, aren't you?
Certainly am, yes. Great fun. Just look at that.
Well, a mistake by...
I tell you what, the blood pressure amongst the coaches. It's a penalty here to Hull. To knock on. I don't know what Kevin Sinfield does here.
Well, it goes for a one-on-one steal. The referee says as soon as you put your hands on him, the tackle's completed. It seems a bit tough on Sinfield.
Well, there was no real advantage to say.
I accept that. I
to the
accept
Hull
that.
side. That looked
That was
high
high.
from Thackeray, and it's getting tasty.
And it's Thackeray on Graham Horne.
Well, a few weeks ago they were teammates, and he's gone looking as Thackeray for the referee. Please help me, sir, or what? I don't know.
Touch is on.
He's trying to convince him that. Well, to be fair, it did look as though he grabbed at the back of the shirt. It looked a lot worse than what it was. They were all in.
Brothers in arms not long ago.
Okay, it's a high tackle, simple as that.
In that front rows union, though, sometimes you've got to show who's the biggest dog in the kennel.
Who's the biggest dog in our kennel then?
Okay, I can't have you running in afterwards. Okay, because that sparks everybody else coming in. Leave it out from there. Okay, go away. Nice shot.
You were inquiring.
Who's the biggest dog in our kennel?
I don't think you really... It wasn't a serious question.
Only one winner then.
He's the
Answers on a
king of the
postcard.
kennel.
Woof, woof.
Answers on a postcard, please. Here is Richard Horne. And this is McMenemy. And Hull looking to just close the game down and finish the Rhinos off. Motu Tony. This is Carvel. A flick pass. Swain. And Cook. I thought the grapple tackle was outlawed. Swain and Tony. Good effort from Ellis.
Where's Paul Cook? This is what I'd be going for.
Here's Paul Cook. Coming back this way. Here is Briscoe. Sean Briscoe almost. Last tackle. Paul Cook has fallen back now. It's with Cook. The kick wide, looking for Blacklock. Palm back. Knocked on. All over the show. Gibson has it. Here come the full times from the other four matches played tonight. Massive wins for Bradford and St Helens. Big win for Wigan. Big win for Salford. Oh, 34-0. And look what it means in terms of the tables. Bradford, I think, has settled in fourth, at least, and might be after third.
Well, the final seconds could be very tasty indeed. There's a few scores to be settled out there.
Here's Peacock. Into the last minute we go. It's going to be Hull's night. They are going to claim second place in the table. Burrow gets the kick in. That's a knock-on by Chev Walker. And that's the game for the Black and Whites of Hull. Peter Sharp has only been beaten once in his 12 games in charge.
He'll be happy.
He won't be.
But the thing is that I think deep down Peter Sharp realises that he's still got a little bit to do in regards to finishing off the opposition.
Well, when you think also, by the way, about the goal kicks that the normally reliable Paul Cook has missed tonight, he has missed 4. That puts a whole different complexion on this game. 15 seconds to go. Hull are going second. Here is Carvel. In no hurry, Carvel counting down to victory. They'll take the tackle with McMenemy. They'll take the 2 points. They'll take the psychological advantage of moving above Leeds Rhinos in the table. Leeds battled all the way in the second half. Donald and Jamie Jones-Buchanan with the tries, but it ended 5 tries to 3 in favour of Gareth Carvel and Hull. 23 points to 16, a significant night we thought in 2006, and perhaps a significant night we have got.
It's shootout time again. And this season, Sky Sports will bring you 88 live games. But for those of you who like that little bit extra, there's another 50 games on Prem Plus. That's 50 games for £60. A special offer for Sky Sports subscribers. Get ready for the big showdown. Order now. Press the red button, call 08705 160 160 or see channel 480.
How can the bank help you?
I'd like to get a loan for £10,000.
Well, I'm the loan arranger. Oh!
Before I arrange this loan, could you tell me what my rate will be?
Oh, I don't know.
Sorry?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah, I don't know. Here, do you know?
No, don't know.
Oh, you don't know. I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No. Well, until you give us your personal details, nobody knows. So what do you think?
Don't know.
Oh.
At Nationwide Building Society, personal loans are simple. Just tell us how much you want to borrow and we'll tell you the rate. Nationwide, proud to be different.
How come when prices are cut, it's always on stuff you don't want? Cut price waffle irons. Very handy. Cutting my bills. Now that really would be useful.
BT has cut the prices on many of its cool packages. Millions of homes could save thanks to BT.
Rock and roll!
Get in.
Who are they?
Oh, I'm just sorting out my car insurance. Hey? I call the AA team. They search over 20 insurance companies to find me their best quote.
Right, that's 40% less, with a full money-back guarantee if you find a cheaper quote.
That's nice, man. That's very nice, man. That's very, very nice, man.
To find out if you could save up to 40%, call the AA team. Here to get you a better deal.
You know, the internet's been good to me. But if it wasn't for all these Hoff emails and appreciation sites, I'd just be that guy with really great pecs. Luckily, with Pipex Broadband, I can keep this online empire buzzing at a very sexy price when purchased with a $12.50 call package. Who said world domination was difficult? Jose, Miguel. I'm David Hasselhoff, king of the internet.
New steak and onion flavour. Another little slice of happiness from Walker's.
No one really knows what's going to happen in the future. And I don't like surprises. That's why I do like inflation-beating savings. They're guaranteed to grow ahead of inflation, whatever happens. They're tax-free, no risk. I believe in them.
For savings that will grow ahead of inflation over the term of the investment, tax-free, call National Savings and Investments on 0500 500 000.
TravelSupermarket.com compares the rates of over 100,000 hotels, over 50 car hire companies, and millions of flights, comparing quotes from online travel agents, tour operators, and budget and charter airlines.
Cool. We need to fly to Barcelona.
As soon as possible. TravelSupermarket.com compares the market in seconds, making it easy for you to choose the best deal. TravelSupermarket.com, the price comparison site.
Norwich Union Direct. Yeah, I've got a 3-bedroom semi and I want you to quote me happy. Bring it on.
Yes! Get 2 years fixed price home insurance. Call 0800 404 8666 or buy online and let Norwich Union Direct quote you happy.
(1,825 days). 260 weeks. 60 months. Only one car maker is so confident in the quality of its vehicles that they offer a 5-year warranty as standard. Hyundai. Drive your way.
Well, a great win for Hull here. They are back on track after their defeat a fortnight ago. Leeds now, it's 4 successive defeats for coach Tony Smith and the Leeds Rhinos. Here is the man of the match, and he's talking to Bill Arthur.
That gets you up to second place. It's a landmark win, isn't it?
You know, it was a real tough game. We haven't beaten them at home for a while, so, you know, it was a great win for the boys. I think they're coming off the back of 3 defeats, and they had a tough game against Huddersfield, so we had a week off, so we're up for it.
Do you think you've put a bit of a marker down?
Well, I think everyone's been saying we've been playing poorly over the last 6 or 7 weeks. And in saying that, you know, the boys know we have, but we had to be up tonight, and I think we played a bit of football.
They did play some football. Not bad if you're not playing well and you're still winning, and that's what Hull have been doing to date, and that means that they are second in the table. They're 6 points behind the Saints, who can still be caught. Leeds have dropped down a place. Bradford look like now, well, they have just about settled 4th place. Salford have leapfrogged Warrington below them. Wakefield have got to beat Castleford, and it's all on again. John Keir.
It looks that way, Eddie, doesn't it? Yeah. It's as simple as that, isn't it? We'll just
it's a doddle.
Go down to Castleford and beat them, and that'll be it, and then we've all got something to talk about then for another week or so, yeah.
I think we've got a lot to talk about this Super League season, haven't we? And this has been a magnificent match.
Oh, it was a great game, yes, and I thought Hull were very good in the first half. They dominated field position and possession. But you've got to take your hats off to the Leeds Rhinos because they played a semi-final 5 days ago. They were starved of possession in the first half, and I thought they showed